crazy to see where you can be in a year. Like thinking where I was at a year ago. God always has a bigger, better plan than we could ever think, imagine. But anyways, back to the music. It's just like crazy what's said about females. I also love like hip hop, or R&B. Like I love me some good soul and like lovey dovey, like early 2000s, 90s. Like that is your girl. But that talks about a lot of sexual things. That's like another hard part. But I wouldn't say I've like fully cut it out, but like day to day and most listened to is my Christian playlist. Like it's not all like gospel, soulful, like church music, which a lot of it is because we do a lot of like modern, like Mavericks and all of that kind of stuff at church. But it's also like Christian rap and hip hop and R&B. So that's what I'd listen to. I'd say like 90% of the time now. But I'm not gonna say I didn't like Slime You Out by Drake and SZA, and I may or may not be going to see SZA. So I passed up on Drake. Honestly, I don't really regret it. Like if somebody would have given me a free ticket and been like, yo, then I would have been like, yeah. But the hundreds of dollars I was gonna spend to be there, and like I heard mixed reviews, and just being in this chapter of my life and like trying to figure out where I feel about music and what my relationship with God like says about it, because everybody has their own opinion of where you can stand on that. So I don't know, I was trying to figure it out. So didn't go to Drake, didn't go to Beyonce, but I think I'm gonna go to SZA. I've literally listened to her since she was only on SoundCloud. So like I'm a day one, and like I just yeah, her music, just all of it, it's all so good. I got caught off in that, but yeah, it was summing up music. That wasn't even like what I was coming on here to talk about, but music is important, so I'm excited to be able to share like my journey with that and what I've found as like solutions to continue in my faith and feed my heart, my soul, my mind good things on a day-to-day. So I always link my playlist below to give you guys some of the good word and just like give you examples of some of the good music that is out there if you're like a Christian hip-hop rap fan. Lastly, I just kind of want to touch on like sharing your faith with others. I'll insert another Bible verse, but it talks about basically like a part of being a follower of Christ, being a child of God, is like sharing his word, like speaking the good news to others, especially any chance you get, like sharing what he's done in your life or what you know he's done in others' lives, and just sharing as much as you can about him and how good he really is. And yeah, so I just know that's something I've struggled with, so that's a big test to me. There's a couple things I've been doing the past month or so to really challenge me to have a deeper relationship with God and be more disciplined with my relationship with him, and sharing my faith and kind of giving myself the reality check that it's not about me, it's about him. It's a big thing with like what I'm sharing on YouTube now. Like it's not about me, it's not about the way I look or what people think about me, but it's like me getting his word out to the people, and like who takes it in and uses it for good. Like that's one step closer, and like if I didn't share it, that wouldn't have happened. So that's kind of my mindset with this, and just other things I'm sharing and just needing to speak on it more. Sharing my testimony. I think I might like create a video about sharing my testimony. I don't really know. I feel like it's always ongoing, so it's just like I don't know if there's just like one video I could do for that. Like I said, I feel like there's been a lot of times in my life where I've been called closer to God or felt closer to Him and really dove into my relationship and like His love and support. But I've kind of been lukewarm and gone through those waves. So I'd say like now is really being in it. But I feel like all those pieces were parts of my testimony to today and kind of where I stand. So yeah, He's just so good. And I'm just like, it is crazy to see where you can be in a year. Like thinking where I was at a year ago, like I was running from some things. I wouldn't say it was like numbing to things. Like I didn't go through a big like drinking, partying, any of that, but like I really feel that I just tried to I think I not necessarily numb, but like sidetrack myself by doing so many things, and it just worked out nicely with like moving. And then a lot of things honestly I didn't intentionally plan, they just kind of fell into place, and I was in a mindset where I was like, I'm not saying no to anything. And I think that was because I didn't want to chill for a second and like really hit home with some of the things that I needed to like focus on for like my future life. And I think that's just something natural with age, regardless of kind of what you've gone through at any point in your life. I think when you hit, everybody talks about the 25, which I'm coming up on, so maybe I'm just like biased to that, but really something starts to flip in your brain after you like graduate college and like get deeper into your 20s, and it's just like a whole shift. And just like the same as you feel when you go to college after high school and you're like, I can't believe I cared about this, I can't believe I was like insecure about this, and like you go through those things in college from high school. But then I think when you become more of an adult or like go into your 20s, you're just like, I can't believe I was like going through this and this, or that this and this mattered like a couple years ago. And it's like, that seems so small or like irrelevant in my life today. I think a lot of that can attribute to like my relationship with God and just like moving away, processing, working on all these things myself, like things with my family relationships, things with like my previous relationships, and just like all those aspects of your life and how they're all interconnected, and they just have lessons to teach you. And I think we can never stop learning in life. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to be at a point, and I'm blessed that I'm this way, that you're so self-aware that you, and maybe it's sometimes to a fault where I try and like figure things out too much or try and put too much thought into things. Like ever since I was a kid, my family called me Dr. Phil, and like I just think I think in depth about a lot of things and process the why. Y'all, look at this. Bruce. I ran into a plate. I just think there's a lot to learn and a lot to grow through your relationship with Christ. And I'm excited that this is like the topics I'm sharing now. And I just have like a lot of thoughts and ideas to share, and that just like gets me excited because one, it makes me realize I'm being confident in God and like my faith and letting Him speak through me and like sharing what He wants me to share. Because if I'm being honest, I think a lot of it stems from not feeling confident in what I know. We all have our own relationship with Him, the general sense of knowing who He is. Like the Bible tells us who He is, how He wants us to live our lives, and this and that. I do know more than I think I give myself credit for. So I have a hard time like wanting to speak to things. I'm like, oh, somebody could say this better than me, or somebody could explain this better, or someone knows more Bible verses and could speak to this, or has been follower of Christ longer than me, or has a like bigger testimony compared to what I feel like mine is, and had more struggles or in life. And it's just like, you can't compare yourself to others. Like, God does not want us to compare ourselves to others. And I just need to count the blessings of like what I've gone through and what I can share. Let God use me and like capture the audience I do. Like, it's all for his glory and not me to like sit here and make you think about me and my particular like human flesh, but like get you to start thinking about God and like coming to God. And that is like the hurdle I think I had to get over, and I'm excited to be in a place where I feel like I'm getting over that. Obviously it's not like a one and done fix, but just knowing that I'm feeling more confident enough to create this content and share it and just take the steps I have in my faith the past year. Guys, I have a list of firsts that I've done this year with Christ, and those are the things like you do that make you feel confident in your relationship. Like, there's actions you take in a relationship to make you feel more confident, to gain each other's trust, to get closer. And literally doing that with God this year, oh, it just makes me happy. I mentioned in my last video that I was struggling the first half of the year and I didn't feel like I was hitting my goals and this and that, and it's taking a long time and things weren't, I don't know if you could hear that, things weren't developing like the way that I wanted them to. But God always has a bigger, better plan than we could ever think, imagine. Yeah, it's a verse I was reading today. But like his plans are just better and bigger, and just seeing it all fall into place. I'm like reflecting on the year as we get closer to the end and closer to my birthday. And I'm just like, dang, I said I was gonna do this. I was so clear, and like I don't feel like I've ever had like an intention so clear for a year than I did this last year. And I think it's because I spent so much time alone and reflecting and just like sitting in silence the end of last year. Honestly forced, because I was sick a couple times. And I just definitely feel like God spoke that word over me of like things that I felt that I was going to be successful in. Like I've had struggles with how I view money and wealth and just like nice things, because I definitely have some high-end taste in things, and there's a lot that I like aspire to have. Not even things, and like I'm very less items person. Like moving here made me realize like how much of a minimalist I am, and I don't like clutter and I don't want to accumulate things. Like I wish I would have even obtained the things I did slower and like realize some of the things I don't need. And I probably will get rid of things when I move out of this apartment, and I'm probably moving to a smaller place because I just realized I don't need all this, at least not right now. Like I don't, it's just me and Frankie, so I think we're good. And it'll just save me more money for other things that I would like to save for or invest in life, and it'll just be good. It's been great having and like being able to offer my place for people to stay, because it's so expensive to travel out here. Like I want to be able to offer my place and people to feel comfortable, like they're not in my way and I'm not in their way, and like having 2 bathrooms, like all of that's so nice. But I think I realized like it's not used that frequently, so it's like, girl, rent an Airbnb when people come stay with you. Like you could pay for the Airbnb for them to stay at, or you could all stay there. Like, so that's kind of where my mindset is with that, but that is a whole nother topic. I love to ramble on, but I just love you guys. I am obviously back from the gym. I need to shower. It's 8:20. Your girl would love to be in bed by 9, because then we spend some time with the Lord. If you're with me, if you want to join, I've been reading. I started like mid to late September. I started reading Psalms and Proverbs and reading a couple chapters a day of each. Well, Proverbs I read like 1, Psalms I read a couple. My Bible has like certain Psalms that go together that are kind of with the same theme, so I'll like read whatever date it is. So like the 9th, I'll read the 9th chapter, and then I'll like go back and see what it says about it, and then I'll like read the ones that kind of correspond, and then read a chapter of Proverbs. And then I just feel called to read Nehemiah and Job. It's just kind of been talked about a lot in some of the sermons I've been watching and things that apply to my life. So Job and Nehemiah. Nehemiah's shorter. Job might take a little while, but I just like to be able to jump around, to be honest. People were very right about saying jumping around because I tried the beginning to end and I got 2 chapters in. But now that I'm like jumping around, like it's good. And I like keep track of what I have read and I like it a lot. And honestly, right now, I don't have a set time where I read. I mean, first thing when I do and the last thing I do of each day is like spend time with him. But that consists of being in my Bible, doing plans on the Bible app, and then I always do the daily verse and like meditation in the app. So some of those I'll do in the morning, some I'll do at night. But yeah, so that's kind of where that has been. But I'm excited to share this video with you guys. I'm excited to share my next one, and just like knowing that all these things are flowing through me. The Lord is speaking. That's crazy. That's crazy because I just got the chills. I got the chills. And you guys will find out in the next video. I love you. God loves you. And good night.